98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.
Now, we've spoken about mental health on this show before, but never before have we spoken about mental health when it comes to children. Because when you think about depression and anxiety, you normally think of an adult. But a report out just in the last couple of days has highlighted how big of a problem this is among children. Children as young as 4 are presenting with serious mental health difficulties such as anxiety, depression and self-harm. Children are now suffering with more emotional problems than ever before. Now, it's hard to believe. There are a lot of you listening now who will not be able to believe this because your childhood is supposed to be the happiest time of your life. You're supposed to be a happy child. You know, you're supposed to remember back to your childhood my childhood was quite happy. I'm sure a lot of you listening are the same. Your childhood was very happy. But one mother reached out to me yesterday evening with her story of her 15-year-old daughter. Her name is Nicola, and here's what she says. I have a 15-year-old who suffers bad anxiety, barely comes out of her room, won't go out and has no friends. She is totally isolated over it. Nicola joins us on the line. You're very welcome along to 98FM, Nicola.
Hi, Jeremy.
First of all, thanks very much for reaching out to us with your story. Can I read the rest of your story if you don't mind? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course can.
So this is your 15-year-old daughter. She doesn't go out because she feels that people are constantly staring at her. I've brought this up with CAMS, that's CAHMS, that's the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, isn't it?
Yeah.
I brought it up with them multiple times. She's still left like this. It's heartbreaking for any mother. It's getting worse already. She's hearing voices and people are dismissing everything I say. First of all, Nicola, you're obviously, because of the situation you're in contact with other parents who are in this situation. How prevalent is this, young children suffering with mental health issues?
It's absolutely, well, to be honest, Jeremy, my daughter has a diagnosis of mild autism. So she always presented as a lonely child. Like, I tell you, she's 15, she's never had a friend. But as the years have gone on, it's escalated. Like, she took a psychotic attack there about 3 or 4 years ago, which was absolutely horrendous. It was horrendous to watch. And as the years are going on, she's getting worse. She stays in her bedroom. She goes out at night time. Now, we're talking about 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. She won't go out during the day.
And so did you say, like, she's 15 now, did you say that she's never had a friend in her whole life?
Never.
Oh,
never. My young one is 15 and she's had she won't, she doesn't trust anybody. My young one has never had a friend at all whatsoever.
Very sad to hear that, and heartbreaking for you as well as a parent. Now, when she's going out in the middle of the night, can you not stop her going out, or is that the only time that she obviously won't go out in the day because of her social anxiety? Is that right? Yeah,
that's right. She does it when I'm in bed, Jeremy. So sometimes then that means that I'm up all night and I have to go out and follow her. Because it could be too, she's now awareness of danger. She now has psychosis. She went to CAMS, they diagnosed her with, she ended up in a hospital there, I think last year, because she was cutting herself with a big kitchen knife.
Oh my God. At 15 years of age.
This is going on since she was about 10. I used to walk into the bedroom and there'd be a big kitchen knife stabbed onto the top of the windowsill. And then she'd sit, she'd bang her head off the wall, she'd be hearing voices, and the voices would be telling her to kill her family and all. Like, I literally wouldn't be able to go to sleep because I'd be afraid of what she would have done or what she could have done. And this
was at 10 years of age. She said she was hearing voices.
Yeah, and I raised this up with, at this stage, I think she was at the Lachina clinic. And it's over being bullied years ago. I said, no, this is not normal. She's hearing voices, like, it's not normal. This is not over being bullied. So as the years went on, the voices were getting worse. Now, one voice, then it turned into multiple voices. I came down to my sitting room one morning, and there was a big kitchen knife stabbed into my fireplace, the top of my fireplace.
And when you asked her why the knife was there, the kitchen knife was there, what did she say?
Nothing. She constantly had to have this kitchen knife in her bedroom all the time. Like, I have every knife in this house here. I can't have a knife in this house. I can't have a knife in this. Now, she's cut herself. I think it was the day before New Year's Eve. The police had to be called. I had to call the police for her because she sat on the bedroom floor and she cut from the bottom of her arm right up to the top.
Oh my
and
God.
6 police jumped out of the van.
She's on her summer holidays now. How does she spend her days?
She's in the bedroom, Jeremy. She's up in the bedroom all day, every day.
Doing what, Nicola?
She sits up there now. She has the dog and she'll sit up there and she'll just colour all day. And I've asked Tulsa for help to get her a yacht worker to take her out because it's very hard for me to bring her out. When I bring her out, like, I bring her into town, she's like mad, staring at me and her hand starts twitching and I have to bring her home. So I've another 2 kids that's 14 and 6. So, because I can't leave her here around, they can't go out. Like, I'm on my own, I don't have any family around to help me. Like, my sister does, but she has her own kids with, they have special needs. So I'm kind of on my own, so if I can't get Kelsey out, the other 2 can't go out either.
And I know your brother has been on to us there. I'm just looking at a message from him saying that he's witnessed this as well. And it's
yeah, it's very bad. I'm surprised I'm not crying. I'm trying not to cry. I've had, like, now, and it's awful. It's horrible, and I've cried 2 times, and I've pleaded and begged them and said, help my daughter, because I am not going to bury my child. She's 15 years of age, and my daughter kept saying to me, I just want to die.
Is she's actually saying that?
Yeah, she's telling me she wants to die. She's telling me she won't be alive by the time she's 18. And I'm afraid to go to sleep in case I wake up and I find her dead. And Cams won't help her.
That's horrific. It's absolutely horrific.
She's now starving herself now. Every time she's putting her fingers down her throat, she's making herself sick. There's nothing left of her.
Well, what age is she, Nicola?
I think she's just under 9 stone, but she's at the last week she hasn't had a thing. She's still starving herself. I've raised this with Cams to keep dismissing it. I brought it up with the GP, and the GP said it's to do with our mental health. Go back to Cams. I've went back to Cams several times to just keep dismissing it.
Where is she at the moment? Are you in the house at the moment, are you?
Yeah, she's upstairs. She's in bed. She stays awake all night. She doesn't sleep, generally. She stays up all night. She sleeps all day. That's her life. Because
I've an image now of your daughter you're downstairs in the house, obviously.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just have an image, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners do, of your daughter, 15 years of age, just sitting. It's a beautiful day, and she's just sitting in a room, probably with the curtains closed as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and the blinds closed. Yeah, that's every day.
Another thing that's after really upsetting a lot of people is the fact that you've had to hide every single knife in the house. You can't have knives in the house because of this.
Yeah, no, we can't have any knives in the house. They're all hid.
Obviously, a lot of your family are there to support you. What else would you like to see being done? I mean, has she been diagnosed with anything? Has she been diagnosed with, paranoia, personality disorder?
She was diagnosed. She's mild autism, and they diagnosed her with attenuated psychosis disorder. And then they took her into Cams, into the day unit. And then they said that it was to do with her autism. I don't believe that, Jeremy. I don't believe that. There's no way that a child can hear multiple voices. Like, she went out there a couple of weeks ago. She was going to my sister. And she came back and she jumped up on the kitchen counter and she was terrified. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And she kept going, I'm not going out. And she was shaking.
So she believes that when she goes outside, people are looking at her, and she's also hearing voices in her head.
And the voices are telling her to throw herself out front of cars. And if she doesn't do it, they're going to make her do it.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how you sleep. You don't sleep.
I don't. And this is when if I'm not functioning properly, then this is when the social workers start moving in. But when I need help, the social workers are not there.
You definitely need help, and we're going to try and get you help. Stay there for a second, please, Nicola. If you have any advice for Nicola, or you'd like to reach out to her or anything, it'd be greatly appreciated. Our telephone number is 6797 981. You can text or WhatsApp your comments to 087 798 98 98. There's a lot of texts coming in for you, Nicholas, in supporting, and I'll read them out to you in a second. If you are affected by this as well, we would love to hear from you. 6797 981. Lisa Marie, how are you?
I'm not too bad now.
As I said, this is something a lot of people listening won't believe, won't be able to understand that's going on. The thoughts of children suffering with mental health issues. Your child is even younger. Your child is 7 years of age. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, he's just hitting 7 now in a few weeks.
And what's going on with him?
He suffers really bad anxiety. He was diagnosed with autism and ADHD 2 years ago. And we're at a stage now where we can't go out in public anymore. He screams really loud and he thinks everybody's looking at him. He shouts at people, shouting strangers. He covers his eyes when he's in the car. He thinks that, when we're driving in the car, he thinks people are stopping on the street looking at him. If the doorbell rings at home, he runs and he hides. He won't come out. It got so bad there at one stage that he was sitting up at night time and he has a mid-sleeper bed that we made a sensory den underneath, and he chewed his bed every single night till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry, he chewed his bed? I've never heard of this
Chewed his bed. He actually took lumps with his teeth off the wood and used to sit there. We could hear the wood dropping on the floor above us from his room, where he would chew lumps out of his bed till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, just chewing the bed, and he couldn't sleep at all. Our team were no support, no help, till it got so bad where he was trying to get out the windows. We were finding him screaming at night, standing on the windows. Obviously, we have safety locks on them. He was put on melatonin for a while to help with him, but he's still the same. And we've had to get rid of the bed and get him a different bed altogether. But now he's pulling his eyelashes out and he's chewing his fingernails and his toes.
Sorry, he's pulling. So we're talking about a 7-year-old child here. His anxiety is such that he is pulling his eyelashes out.
Eyelashes, yeah. He pulls his eyelashes out and he chews his nails and his toenails and he pulls his eyelashes out of his eyes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I've never spoken to a mother who's told me that about her 7-year-old before.
Yeah. Yeah, and he can't, as I said, we have to do daily things like go to town, shopping and things like that. And, obviously when he acts like this, people do tend to stare and, look. And, there's times where I've had to abandon my trolley in the shop and walk out with him where he is just having a complete panic attack, where he thinks that everybody's looking at him and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs to where people will look eventually, which makes him worse again. And we have to abandon everything and just walk out and get him into the car, screaming in the car, covering his eyes.
Is he on medication, Lisa Marie?
No.
No medication?
He's on no medication. He hasn't been seen by his psychologist in 2 years. 2 years.
Now, obviously, don't mention the psychologist on the radio, please. Obviously, for legal reasons, we can't mention the psychologist. But why has your child is 7 years of age? Just to reiterate this, 7 years of age, has chewed the bed because of the anxiety, has pulled out his eyelashes, and is continuing to do so. Why has he not seen a psychologist in 2 years?
We don't know. We've no answers. We've tried our best to get him the best support we can. We're getting referred to this place and that place, and then we're being told the waiting list is this long and that long, and we just have to wait until it's our turn.
I don't think you can wait, to be honest with you.
No, it's affecting his life.
And it's affecting your life. I mean, you must be heartbroken seeing your 7-year-old child pulling out his own eyelashes because of his anxiety. That's...
Yeah, and he's not he's nearly 7 now. What's it going to be like another year or two down the line when he gets older?
Well, down the line is Nicola's daughter. I mean, that's down the line.
Yeah.
Nicola, did your daughter exhibit any of those things when she was younger?
Not that I can remember. Not that now. To be honest, if my door knocks, she won't open it. She leaves people at that door and won't go near the front door. And it could be 2, 3 o'clock in the day. She will not open that door to anybody that knocks on it.
And is your young fella the same, Lisa Marie?
He hides. He runs away from the door and he hides. He'll hide under the stairs, or he'll hide behind the couch, or he'll run into the corner behind the chair. He won't. He runs. He runs away from the door.
Up to her room. She runs up to her bedroom. She won't go near the door.
And Nicola, if you were to go into the bedroom now, and say, why don't you come out for a walk, what would she say to you?
To be honest with you, she only goes out when it rains, which is weird.
Okay.
I know. It has to be lashing out. She loves the feel of the rain because of her autism. It's a sensory problem. But I mean, like, I've often had to get up out of my bed. I have a 6-year-old here and a 13-year-old. Now, there, when she was about 10, my niece came down the stairs and felt she had a pair of trousers wrapped around her neck and tied to the top bunk and tried to hang herself.
My God.
Yeah, this is going on yet. Like, I'm with my kids 24/7. I do not go out. I don't have a social life. Not that I cage anybody than me kids, but sometimes it does get very tiring. Like, but she's up all night. She only went to bed at 9 o'clock this morning. She's after being down there about an hour ago, and she's gone back up the stairs again. And you won't see her now till tonight. And then even at tonight, I'm gone to bed and she's getting up.
This is actually shameful that there's not proper assistance there for parents like yourself. Stay there for a second, both of you, because a lot of parents are ringing in similar situations. 6797981 is our telephone number. Very difficult to hear these stories and to listen to. And I can hear the heartbreak in your voice, Nicola. I mean, to see your child going through this, and you probably.
I'm trying not to cry, but I am heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for your child to stand there and tell you that she doesn't want to live. I mean, what happens if I'm not here? If God forbid me, if something happens to me, what's going to happen to her? Who's going to look after her? She's being left like that.
It's an awful burden to be put on you, to be honest. Text or WhatsApp your comments 0877 98 98 98, and I'll put them to these parents. If you've just joined us, we're talking to parents of children who suffer with extreme anxiety. It's something we've never talked about on the show, but I felt we need to highlight it just so you are aware of what these parents are going through. Two completely separate stories, one as bad as the other. Nicola's daughter wants to end her own life. She's 15 years of age. Lisa Marie's son is 7 years of age, has literally chewed the bed because of anxiety, and also is he still pulling out his eyelashes? Is that still going?
Yeah, he still does it. Yeah, he'll sit there a bit, and he doesn't feel pain because he just. I just sometimes say, like, I do try and stop him, and it's like he's so immune to it now. It doesn't affect him or bother him at all. And then you try to say to him, "Come on, let's go outside." He doesn't want to go outside at all. He'd sit in all day, and that he's happy with that. And as soon as we need to go, that's it. Then all systems loose.
Stay there for a second, both of you. Let me go to Suzanne. You're on 98FM. Suzanne, how are you?
Not too bad, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm not the best for listening to these stories because, as I mentioned at the start of the topic, your childhood is supposed to be the happiest time of your life. Children are supposed to be happy-go-lucky, and they're supposed to remember back to their childhood. But after hearing both those mothers' stories, my God, you only realise how lucky someone like myself is. Now, you are in that situation as well. You're 19-year-old.
9.
Sorry, 9, is it? Sorry, I thought it said 19 there. Your 9-year-old suffers with severe anxiety?
Yeah, and he also has stress and emotional traumatisation. His anxiety stems from being bullied in school, though I don't think he's as bad as the other two ladies. I think I'm quite lucky, actually, with him compared to what those two ladies are going through.
Okay, tell me, how did it start, and when did it start?
Well, it didn't really show any signs till probably he was in 4th class. The bullying started in school when he was only in junior infants. The school basically was brushing it under the carpet and wouldn't deal with it, and were fobbing me off constantly. But we only actually got a diagnosis in May this year that he actually had the anxiety. And I've been everywhere. I've tried to get help. I've tried to find out how I can deal with it and what ways I can make things easier for him. And there's just no support out there. It doesn't matter where I go, I'm just hitting a brick wall constantly.
And why is there no support?
I don't know. I don't think they know. I don't think they know the effects of it on children, and I don't think they know how to deal with it to tell us how to deal with it,
Okay, at its worst, your 9-year-old's anxiety, how does it manifest itself?
Well, he doesn't leave his room. He doesn't come out of the house.
So very similar to Nicola's situation here. Yeah,
no, he's like he would be has a lot of anger issues, but it's not towards himself, thankfully. they'd be more towards the child who has caused him to feel this way.
Okay.
He hasn't actually said anything about doing physical to himself, but he doesn't leave, he doesn't want to go out, he doesn't socialise. He just sits in all the time. Like, he has a younger sister. He doesn't want to socialise with her. He just doesn't want to socialise with anybody.
He's just completely cut off.
He's a recluse, is the only way I can put it. He just completely hides himself from the world.
Very similar to your daughter, Nicola.
Yeah.
It's very similar. And if you bring him somewhere, if you bring him to a playground, if you bring him to the cinema...
There's no such thing as a playground anymore. We don't go out because it's too hard. The way he goes on, he gets very temperamental, and it's not worth the argument with him for it to set his anxiety off, so because it sets him off something terrible. So, like, the likes of, if I need to go to the shop, it's in, out. There's no hanging around. There's no, like, if I stop and if I see someone and I'm talking to them, there's no conversation. I have to quickly say, oh, hi, bye, and I'm gone. I can't stop and socialise with people. I can't bring him out with my children, with my friends and their children, because he just doesn't want to be around people.
Are you in contact with other parents who are in the same situation as this, or?
I'm not, no, because we only found out in May, and to be honest, I'm still trying to get my own head around it at the moment. And
no, the reason I'm saying that, and for you as well, Nicola, are you part of any help group or anything like that?
No, certainly I've been doing this on my own.
Nobody should be doing this on their own, because what I'm thinking is, after the show, what we'll probably do, if you're all happy with this, because there's lots of parents ringing in the same position, I think we should probably set up some sort of Facebook group where you can all get in contact with each other and share stories and share advice. I think that might be a good thing, would it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you heard Nicola's story, Suzanne. She's afraid.
I did.
She's afraid. She's afraid to sleep. Heartbreaking. I thought my son was bad till I heard that lady's story, and I swear to God, it's so heartbreaking. I don't know how she goes from day to day. I don't know how you do either, Nicola. You're very brave.
I know. Everyone has said that. Like, she's a sister there that's 13, and she's a brother that's 6, and like, she could just turn. She's often just ran at them, like, and hit them, and do you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be her fault, but she's not getting the proper help. She was in the day unit in CAMS, like, and then the testing of her these voices, and they were like, oh no, this is her autism, because she doesn't know how to process her feelings. But she's only mild autism. This is not explaining these multiple voices that's telling her to kill herself.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not an expert by any means in autism, and if someone could correct me, but I've never heard of autism leading to hearing voices in your head that are telling you, and once
kill your family. And throw yourself out in front of the car. She went up to Dolphin's Barn Bridge one day and went to throw herself off it.
Sorry, off where in Dolphin's Barn?
The bridge in Dolphin's Barn. My sister told me, I didn't know, my sister told me she's going to throw herself over the bridge in Dolphin's Barn.
And that was because she heard a voice in her head saying...
Because the voices are telling her to do it. Yeah, the voices are telling her to do it.
Suzanne, is your child on any medication at all?
No.
Nothing?
And according to my doctor, when we brought him, he had severe anxiety, but I don't think it's severe after hearing those ladies' stories.
But no, it is. It's just,
No, but compared to those ladies and what their children are going through, he wouldn't be as bad as them. Like, he's not physically harming himself, I don't have that end of it to worry about just yet, and I'm hoping it doesn't come to that.
I know, but it's the kind of thing that you'd need to nip in the bud before it gets any worse. Because I assume with you, Nicola, it did get progressively worse with your daughter.
Yeah, as the years went on, she was down the stairs. Yeah, as the years went on, it got very bad. Very.
Now, is she aware you're talking to 98FM?
Yeah, she knows. She's started coming down the stairs there now.
And how does she feel about you talking on the radio?
That's what she said to me. I wouldn't want to go on that show because I'll tell them. Like, I have to buy her now. I have to buy her pets, God help her, to keep her going in the bedroom because she's up there now. She doesn't interact with her sister or her brother.
And she's after coming out now and she's down in the living room with you. Is that rare that she would do that during the day?
Very rare. She's down now because I got her a ferret the other day, so she's sitting there with the ferret. But she'll be gone back up the stairs again. You won't see her all day.
And this may sound like a stupid question, but ask her there how she's feeling at the moment. Not on the air. I don't want to talk to her on the air. And I know a lot of people want to hear her story, but I don't think it'd be appropriate to talk to her on the radio. But ask her how she's feeling at the moment and see what she says to you.
Cal, how are you feeling? She doesn't know, Jeremy.
She doesn't know how she's feeling?
No, she does. I had all over the place. She does. It's terrible. It's terrible to have to look at your child like that for years. Like, it's.
I mean, is she feeling sad at the moment? Did she say?
She said she doesn't know how she feels. She's dying.
She said what?
She feels like dying.
98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.